Side tangent. So this weekend, I've been going through like all of Michael Jackson's songs. I just cannot believe, like, it's like I'm listening to them all for the first time again. I cannot believe how many bangers
Do you know
he had.
that's
Anyway,
so strange? Because on Saturday evening, because my partner went out, and then she like knocked out at her friend's house. I was meant to go pick her up, but then she knocked out at her friend's house, and then I was like, okay, I'll just come get you tomorrow. So I had like the kind of I was just by myself, so I was like, okay, cool. And then I don't know, I just started putting on I put on like Thriller, and I just skipped to the main part. And then I went from that to something else. And I know every time I start one of these, I'm going to end up on like going to the next one. Then I watched the Bad Tour, and I was skimming through that. And
oh my
like,
goodness. Wembley,
yeah,
1990,
yep, that one,
1988.
yeah.
Unbelievable concert.
I was just like so emotionally attached and deep into it. Like, I watched his 1995 MTV Awards as well, because there's a 4K version of it on YouTube, and
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
always struggled to find it on YouTube, and because some of them would be not so good quality, or one of them would be like the audio is slightly behind, so it doesn't match up with like his dancing, which is so unsatisfying. This is 4K. It's perfect quality. It's better than the DVD quality I had when I was a kid, and it's just, yeah, I did the same thing, which is weird. I fully soaked in just all these vibes. It was so emotional because it was like tapping into my inner child again. Like, wow, this guy, you look at his face and you're like, this guy exists. Like, well, he existed, he walked the planet. He's a big part of my
He was
childhood,
crazy.
and
But
yeah, it's
what
crazy.
I loved as well was the uh, admiration he had from everybody. Like
Yes, yeah.
anyone that was in the audience, whether it be a fellow celebrity
Mm,
or a fellow entertainer or just an ordinary person off the street, everybody was just wide eyes, wide mouth,
yeah.
couldn't believe what they were watching. Like they were watching something amazing. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I thought the
Listen,
same thing.
it is.
I thought the same thing as you. I thought
Yeah,
like when I was watching him on the Wembley thing, I was thinking, man, I would
it's
hate to be an
unreal.
MJ contemporary, like during the time. But then I think, actually, if I was, I'd probably look at him and think, yeah, I'm just such a massive fan of his. He's one of those guys that I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with you breaking the awards. I'm cool. You deserve it. I'm doing my thing, but like, you're just something else. You're like this physical embodiment of music that was sent to Earth, just like kind of, cannonball straight onto Earth. Like, okay, he's here now. Like, it's unfortunate.
A freak of nature. Like
Yeah,
when it comes to music. Like yeah, I, to be honest, the fact that he sang that concert, especially the Wembley one, like that's him at 30 years
yeah,
old,
yeah.
right? He's like in his
Mm,
prime and he sings when that concert is 2 hours and 14 minutes.
something like that.
He
Yeah,
sings live throughout the entire thing.
yeah,
That's unbelievable
yeah,
feat
yeah,
to be because even after because I think what's the first song? I know the second song is This Place
yeah,
Hotel,
yeah.
like
The
Heartbreak
first song
Hotel.
is
That's
"Want to
the
Be Starting Something."
no, that's after.
Is it? No, no, no.
Want to be
"Want to Be Starting Something's first song, because he starts off. Um, there's five of them. They're all lined up, and then he starts, and because I remember the way he's dancing to it. It's just,
okay.
it hits me every time. I remember I'm just want to be starting something, because I always found it weird. I thought he would do a song off of Bad, because it was the Bad tour, but he starts with a song with
Exactly.
Thriller. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's want to be starting something.
It, let's be fair. It is phenomenal feat of
Yeah,
endurance.
I
Yeah,
think.
you're right. It's want to be starting something. You're
Oh,
absolutely
sick,
right.
sick.
Nice one, mate. Nice one. Nice one. But yeah, man, like he was. I can't believe that he did that. It's that is not only like next level showmanship, but the fitness that
Yeah,
you have. That is unbelievable
I was thinking
fitness.
the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah. There's no way, like even towards the end in like 2009, there's no way he could have done 50 shows.
yeah.
No
There's no way.
way. Not the way that he wanted to do it.
No, I watched that documentary again like a few months ago, and there's this one part that always gets me when he does. I think They Don't Care About Us, and then he kind of walks
Yeah.
to the back of the stage as it's fading out, and he's motioning to this guy who's a bit off camera, like behind the stage. He's like motioning to his face, and then the guy brings out this kind of pack, and then he puts it on his face, and it looks like something that helps him breathe. And but it fades out at that point, so you can just about see him kind of put this mask on his face, and it's like I think it's like an oxygen pump or something. And I'm like, oh. And my brother told me apparently that a lot of that that concert footage is overdubbed, so it's not necessarily him singing that stuff live. They've like added in.
Yeah, I gathered that.
Yeah, because it's like he just didn't seem like he was in the right kind of fitness or bodily fitness to be doing it, because he was conserving his voice, but it's like.
But you could hear it though, like when he was mic'd up and singing, you were like, yeah, he's just essentially it's muscle memory.
Yeah.
That's all that is. That it's just practice. Like he's doing the moves, but even when he was doing the moves, there wasn't, and I know that it's only practice and early stages of practice, there wasn't that kind of sharpness or anything. He was like what 49, 50 at that point, like 50, 51.
50 that.
So you know what I mean? It's a hell of an ask to, for a dude. For anybody it would be a hell of an ask for a 25-year-old to do it. Like Usher Raymond to do it at 25. Yeah. He would struggle with doing that kind of stuff. Although he did it, and I saw it live, 8701 tour, could not believe my eyes. That was a 2-hour show. Unreal. Wow. Unreal. Okay. But anyway, like, I think that anybody would struggle with that, let alone Michael Jackson. And he had such high standards for himself. And if he couldn't meet it, like I don't think he'd have been invested.
No, 100%. And also, he'd had his drug issues and stuff as well. And
that's so much. He had so much sort of taken away from him. He didn't look well. He just
not at all. You see how skinny he was and everything, and he wasn't eating properly, things like that. It's just but it makes it more sad that he still showed up, he still did it, he still had all the ideas and was trying to put them together. He didn't sit there and complain or anything.
So sad.
He was doing it, and he had a smile on his face throughout the whole thing, and he was always complimenting his other dancers and stuff. And he had a real, like, as my dad would say, like grace and charm to him, even though you realize afterwards how much he was struggling on the inside. Physically. I think that's something he doesn't get his props for.
That is actually something that I forgot, was just how nice he was to people around him. Like, you could just tell that he was just
genuine
nice
warmth, kind of.
Correct. Yeah, like he cared how their days were going.
And that's,
do you know what I mean?
All I heard. Yeah, that's all I heard from people. Like, that's all you hear from interviews of people who have actually met him. There's always this consistency, to what he was like compared to the stuff that we hear about him from people who never actually were around him or met him. There's much more consistency to the people who were around him and actually said stuff about him. There's no real anomaly in there. There's like, or unless the story changes afterwards and then gets thrown out of court. But anyways,